Way down in my heart. We got a lurker. Who lurks there? Jeremy. Daniel. Oh, now I can talk. It's a lot easier, Daniel. Darius. Uh, so I am the king. I am the king of learning a riff of a song and then never learning anything else about the song. And that was the worst habit I picked up as a kid because, like, you hear like Back in Black or something and you learn the intro riff or whatever, and that's it. Dude, I did that for like years and years and years and years. And so because of that, I had no real stronghold on rhythm and song structure and anything about actual like music. So when all of that stuff kind of became important to me in like the last 5 6 years, I was lost. You know what I mean? Uh, so Jeremy, they said it was supposed to be single digits here next week. One broadcast said 9, which I don't think it'll ever get that low, but uh, pretty damn cold. Darius, I agree. I usually like wintertime because we don't usually get a winter, right? We It's 55 degrees, all is well. You go fishing and it's normal, and then you just catch pre-spawn fish for 3 months till they go in bed. Um, so I guess we can't complain, Jeremy. I saw where AJ, their high was going to be like -3 and the low was like -15 up in Nebraska. But I started thinking about it, and I was like, what do I need to do to my boat? My boat's never been like in weather that cold. I got the I got the I got the motor trimmed down, but I don't know. Wrap it in a blanket. Wrap the outboard in a blanket. I don't know what. I don't know what you do to winterize a motor. What do the dudes way up north do? Kyle, it is true, but you won't catch my ass in Alaska. Uh, let's see. Darius, what do you do when it's too cold to fish? Do you have a man room or a man cave or a garage that you keep your boat in that you could go sit in your boat and like put hooks on baits and do that kind of stuff? Are you a tinkerer by trade, Darius? Do you like putting your hands on your baits and dicking around with them? I think I like the prep more than I ever did. Not more than, but like the prep was just as fun to me as the actual fishing trip. Uh, going through in your mind all the scenarios that you thought you would face and like how you would attack them and baits and all that kind of stuff and putting a game plan together, colors, all that kind of stuff. That was the pour lead. Gross. Hate lead. What do you pour spinner baits buzz baits, jigs, shaky heads, that kind of thing, or are you one of those guys that just pours ball head jigs, shaky head jigs, or do you pour it all? No caribou for me. No, no, y'all can have that shit. Deer's pushing it. I do like some waterfowl though, but I'm not going to go to the ends of the earth to go blast a duck anymore. Back in the day, I would. Back in the day, I would drag my feet through miles of muck just to shoot one gadwall. But gone are those days. Gone are those days. Seen the Christmas scum frogs. I did see the I saw a couple ads for the scum frog Christmas edition. Look pretty nice, I guess. I don't know what about everything, but no spinner baits. What if you were gonna pitch a jig, Darius? What jig would you pitch? Like if you're gonna go dock fishing, what mold would you pour that out of? I need to send you one of my jigs. Oh, you got a neighbor that pours them for you. That makes it easier. Painting a spinnerbait can be obnoxious if you're used to powder painting uh, you jig heads, and then you got to try and powder coat a. I'll tell you something that's cool. So my neighbor up at the River House, Mean Gene, who I speak of often and highly, best dude, one of the best people I've ever met. Uh, he was the guy that kind of got me into the bait building bug because he had Mean Gene Lure Company, and he did jigs and spinner baits and buzz baits and anything lead. But he used, which is probably what killed him because he got lung cancer. But he used vinyl lure paint. If you've ever smelled vinyl lure paint, it's awful. But he would dip his baits in them to paint them, and then leave them to hang up. But the interesting thing about how he did it was he would use his first dip. He would dip the hook in blue, and I never understood it until I asked him about it. He would dip his hook in blue, and then he would dip the whole hook. Then he would dip the blue hook and the head in white, and then he would add his colors. He would usually brush them on with a brush. Uh, if it was like chartreuse and white, he'd take a little paintbrush and like go down the head or whatever. But I asked him, I was like, Gene, uh, how do you not paint the hook? He's like, I dip them in that blue first. I'm like, what does that do? He's like, this vinyl paint. He's like, it's got to have that white primer down first, or no, it won't stick to anything. It's like, really? He's like, so when I dip it in blue, it won't stick to the hook. He's like, but then I can dip the white, and the white sticks to the lead. And then when I get done painting, I peel everything off the hook because it's base coated in blue that won't stick. How about that? So football heads. Who makes the best football head besides yourself? I've never understood the football head thing around here because we don't have rock, and I've seen guys throw football heads up here uh, in like creek mouths and stuff that are pretty much just like mud and clay, and they throw a football head. And I'm thinking to myself, what is that really doing different than just like a pitching jig? I mean, you're still dragging it on the bottom. I feel like I could do the same thing with just a regular jig. I pour swing heads the most. I've been hooked on them. What hook do you use in your swing heads, Darius? Darius, I think I have the perfect swing head bait. I was thinking about it. And I think this is what it's going to excel on. For me down here. It's flat. It's got these little bitty pinchers, little bitty wigglers. I think this is going to be awesome on a swing head. It sounded like a good marketing name, Mean Gene Fishing Tackle. First thing I thought of was Mean Gene. Yeah, Mean Gene Okerley, whatever his name was. Michael Bradley, how goes it? But yeah, Mean Gene. I'll show you a Mean Gene. I got a Mean Gene over here on the wall. His wife did all the packaging, and she did. Her name was Miss Peg. Miss Peg would always bake us cakes and sweet, delicious treats when we would come up to the lake. Gene would walk over and have a paper plate covered in aluminum foil, and there were typically toothpicks sticking through the aluminum foil, and she would put the toothpicks in the cake so the aluminum foil wouldn't touch the icing. And she would usually send us 4 or 5 pieces of cake that she had concocted, and they were always different. But Miss Peg was a baker, and she ran the business side of the like the inventory and all that kind of stuff of the Mean Gene Lure Company. So she was pretty ahead of her time because they didn't have like they had this really old computer, and she ran all these kind of spreadsheets on her computer that she could keep up with all the like they had names for all the serial numbers for all the stuff. You can see it on the package. But this is how a Mean Gene fishing jig came. There you go. Handmade. Mean Gene Lure Company. Weedless bass jig. This one comes with a rattle, and it weighs 3 ounces, and it's 3/8 of an ounce, and it's like a June bug cotton candy. This is a good spotted bass bait. And there is the address, and says "Happy Fishing," manufactured by Gene Watley, Mean Gene Lure Company. There you go. But Gene wasn't a jig fisherman much. I had to. I'd go over there and we'd talk jigs because he would ask me a lot about jigs because he didn't jig. He was a spinnerbait guy. And the interesting thing about Gene, he was a spinnerbait wizard. Really, really incredible spinnerbait fisherman. And he's the one that taught me. I told y'all last time about. He taught me about spinnerbait fishing. But the one thing that was different about him compared to other spinnerbait gurus is Gene like really heavy spinnerbait wire. He didn't like thin wire. Most of your spinnerbait enthusiasts are like, oh, lighter the better. He didn't like his spinnerbaits did not have thin wire. They had really heavy wire, like 40 thousandths or something. Another Chad. Let's see. Michael Bradley, how are you? Daniel T, that's the place. It's a fish at jig. Half ounce falling down a bluff wall is hard to beat. And the fish usually 15 feet up, and the bottom is 40 feet. It's a mountain lake. That sounds like a Darius. Did you watch that FLW tournament where Gary Yamamoto was on Kentucky Lake and he was fishing like 20 feet deep and he was letting his Senko sink weightlessly down to the fish? Don't lie to me and tell me you didn't ever go out there and try that. But that sounds like a good place. Daniel T, if I were having to catch fish in 15 feet of water, in 40 feet of water that were suspended down 15 feet, that sounds like a perfect place for a Nico rig, a light Nico rig. Michael, me too, dude. This cold shit sucks. I know all you up northers are complaining or are laughing at me about complaining about the cold weather, but cold in the south just hits different, I think. Let it fall to 20, reel back up and do it again. Jake can land on a small edge and fall off again. Then we'll get the one to bite. Didn't Cody Meyer catch those giant spots on a weightless Ocho suspended deep? Dustin, they could have. I don't really remember. I might be getting a couple of the other tornado spinner baits from W. Slocum. Who's that? Did somebody recreate the tornado? Where's my blade box? It's on the bottom. I'm not getting it out. But I think I've still got a bunch of the tornado blades. I've got the full baits over there. Dude, my phone is really dicked up. Ever since I broke the screen, this thing is not. Now the battery's cooked. Like my battery won't stay charged. I don't know whether to go buy a new phone or I think it'll cost me as much to fix. Like if I got the screen fixed, that's like $150. And then if I got a new battery, that'd be another like 65. So now I'm up over 200 for a phone. I could go buy a used phone for the same price to fix it. Slocum are from Baker, Louisiana, same area as Shoestring. They made the spinnerbait as well. You know, I said the rumor was Shoestring wasn't the original maker of the tornado. Slocum. Is the original maker still around? Like the guy who created it? Or is it like his family still doing it? Educate us, Kyle, on the tornado spinnerbait. Goofy as hell. But you Louisiana guys love this damn thing. That's the only thing. I've got the blades. Um, what is this? Oh, damn. My message just got back. Um, do you have to get those baits like directly from them, or do they sell in stores anywhere, or is it like a if you know kind of thing? Uh, Anyone ever throw the spinnerbait with the zigzag bent arm? No, Michael, I haven't, but I heard that thing thumps like a mother. Uh, this is garbage. Uh, Jeremy, we're talking about the tornado spinnerbait, and Kyle said they were pieces of shit. I have to turn it on, Bob. Uh, if you know, you know. They got to making baits when sports close. How about that? Jeremy, you didn't go for it? No, it's like a Louisiana thing, dude. Like I know other people use them, but I know those dudes in Louisiana are like into them. Daniel Beretta does have a incredible logo. The Bean was asking me this morning. She's like, "What's on your shirt, Dada? What that?" And she was talking about this, and I was like, "Oh no, some arrows." Like I don't know what it means, but it's got some arrows and some circles. I don't have any clue what it stands for. The only reason I have this is when I was living in Tuscaloosa in college, they had a closeout sale at Woods and Water, and this shirt was like $10. So I've had it ever since. Zorro makes good bait. I think they're an underappreciated bait company. I don't know what the deal is with Zorro, but you don't hear much out of them anymore. Zorro makes an A-rig? I didn't know that. Anyone try to hatchet blade on a spinnerbait? John, is that similar to the Ninja blade? It's like the half Indiana. It's like a half Indiana, but with a hook in it, like the old Gambler Ninja blades. Somebody I saw was bringing that back out. Maybe it's Gambler, but I saw somebody else was selling them. They weren't really on my radar, but they're cool. I don't know what they're supposed to do different. The only time I saw them work was mid 2000s, early 2000s, Sitco era Bassmaster tournament down in the Harris chain or Kissimmee chain or whatever. And Marty Stone was throwing one. I think Marty Stone won the tournament, and he was throwing the Ninja Spin in the weeds. But that's all I know about those. Gamblers have the 3 and 4 blades. The ones I've been putting in those rip-off boxes have 2 blades. Oh, were they putting them in like a mystery box, Dustin? Is that the deal? Is that where I saw them? You can buy the Gamblers at Tackle Warehouse now. There you go. I should probably save this one for the Patreons. That doesn't exist yet, but let me dig through and find it. I caught the shit out of them this spring on this color down here. I guess they were eating the blades. They like weird colored blades and shit down here. Let's see if I can find this bait. Down there. That won't get you killed down here. Swing jigs. No. Where is it? That's how I organize my spinnerbaits and jigs. Nice little box from Marty Burns. Perfect for stashing your baits away in. There. Lipless box. Soft plastics, crankbaits. Let's see. Got in there. What else in here? Nico rigging stuff. What am I done with that? Is it tied on? Oh yeah. I had it tied on. So y'all are lucky it's Sunday. This is usually for the Patreons. May look dumb. It may look dumb. And I thought the same thing. Just leave it at that. All right. Those are prepped. These are prepped. They have a similar blade on the Tekel. Dude, Hideki is really... The dude has just taken all of the weird spinnerbait blades over the last 40 years and stuck them to the back of something. For example, anybody remember this blade? It's made by Manns. It's plastic, had rattles in it. Everybody forgets about this little weirdo. Why not just stick it in the damn back of a frog or on the back of a topwater or whatever? But I feel like that's what he's done. He just like looks for all these weird oddities in the fishing world and then just figures out a way to use them. But I think he gets a lot more credit than he maybe should for some of this shit. Like he's innovative with, you know, what he does with it, but like the concepts aren't all his. Like that, for example. I guess it's been around for 30 years. Actually, longer than that now, probably 40. Oh, they sell the blades too? The Cajun, is that the rattling one, Kyle? I'm assuming. All right, what's left? I gotta drill me a pilot hole in this guy. Big old BGC Niner. It's a lot of bait. I know you don't deal with Hildebrandt probably much, but I'd like to know what's going on with them, because back in the day when I was trying to order blades and I was trying to order the vinyl Sally skirts, they're part of Yakima conglomerate. Yakima owns Uncle Josh. They own Hildebrandt. They own maybe like Lord Jensen. Not Lord Jensen. What's that other? Wardens. But like 3 or 4 years ago, they said, "Oh, our website's down for maintenance. It'll be back in like a month." That's still up. Like the website hadn't been updated in like 4 years, so you can't order anything directly from them, from their website. And I don't know if they're on the way out. I'm assuming they would. I don't know. I don't know what's that would be sad though if I don't know if they sell enough Hildebrandt blades to stay afloat, you'd have to sell a lot of blades. And I don't know in other parts of the country if that's a thing. In this part of the world, it was a very, very, very big thing to throw Hildebrandt blades. Like that's so like you come down here and you dig through a guy's box and they'll have like a blade box that's nothing but Hildebrandts. And I think there's a huge generation gap that doesn't care or doesn't know or anything like that, and they just, you know, get whatever War Eagle puts on them, or whatever. But like when I was a kid, it was a big deal to like change your spinnerbait blades out. And Hildebrandt does make a superior blade. I mean, they make the best blade on the market. They hold up. The finishes are awesome. They thump hard as hell. Like they've got pretty much the perfect blade. But I don't know if there's a I don't know if like the 35 to like 25 or 2018, that like the high school to like early 30s, I don't know if that age group of people are blade changers or Hildebrandt people. Obviously, Jason Christie is. Never caught a damn fish on many kind of rattling blades. I'd rather you hand me a banjo minnow. Banjo minnow was awesome. I never caught shit on it, but the concept was incredible. I'm really surprised that there hasn't been a Japanese company redo the banjo minnow and make it. What would y'all think of Tacklecraft if I came out with like a very high end, perfectly designed banjo minnow? Like you took the banjo minnow principle, but you did everything that they did wrong right. You made the banjo minnow look incredibly awesome. It came with a badass hook, like everything that needed to go with it to make it perform were like the top. Because that was the problem with the banjo minnow. Like they looked cheesy as hell. The colors sucked. The hook blew. Like all the components sucked to make it cheap. But I think the concept of the banjo minnow is incredible. Like how there's no hook, like weight in the hook, or no hook in the body. Um, at the time, it was Hildebrandt blades or the man's blades that tarnished. Um, yeah, that was the other thing. You had to kind of keep up with your blades or they'd get grimy on you. And if you polished a Hildebrandt too much with like toothpaste, you'd polish the finish off of them. A balmy 9. Dogs still get walked in 9, Hella? Or is the dog peeing on turf in the kitchen? Or is the doggy got a pee-pee pad in the kitchen? Neighbor came to visit Darius and tell him how cold it was. You got a bitch to somebody. Not sure if it's similar, but Evergreen makes a bait called the Last Ace that sort of looks like the banjo. I have to look that up. I would figure that would be something that like a Japanese company would do. Not too windy, so it wouldn't be brutal out there in the 9. I've got a y'all talking about these? Sitting in limber neck. This is a limber blade. It's got the wire spinnerbait wire, like cable. It's got a piece of cable for the spinnerbait wire. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about the old redneck spinnerbaits that had the banana shaped head? Or you might be just talking about limber like small diameter wire. It's supposed to be high of 5 here for Christmas Eve. That's what it's supposed to be up there later this week. How gross. I do like cold Christmases though, because that's kind of, I feel like Christmas should be cold. Unfortunately, I can't tell you how many Christmases I have experienced walking outside and putting on shorts and a t-shirt and going to my grandmother's house on Christmas Day, which is kind of shitty. Because you grow up watching all these Christmas movies and reading all these Christmas stories, and everybody's bundled up and it's snowing and like Christmas is cold in like all this fictional shit. But in reality, in South Alabama, Christmas is t-shirt and shorts weather sometimes. No shorts this year, Doug. No shorts. You can relate. You know about it. But you get all hyped up. You get all hyped up as a kid watching all these movies and watching Home Alone, and they all got their big jackets and coats on and their snow gear. And you think, I want some of that. No. No. Darius went fishing on Christmas Day. I bet that was awesome because there was nobody there. I mean, you didn't see another boat, right? I had a thin cable type wire arm and it was called the limber neck. I never owned it. Yeah, this one's called the limber blade. This one is made. This piece right here is cable, and it connects to the R bend up there somehow with a sleeve, a crimped sleeve. This is from Redbone Bait Company in Parrish, Florida. They call this mellow yellow, and it is not yellow at all. It is neon chartreuse. There's nobody there now when I go fishing in the winter. Never seen the person last week when I went. Damn. The old 90s starter jacket. I don't know where my starter jacket is, Kyle, because I had a Seattle Supersonics one, and it had the Space Needle on the front, and it was badass. And it was like the dark green one. And knowing my mother, it was probably an XL because she used to buy my clothes like oversized so I could grow into them. Um, I'd like to find that. It's somewhere. It's somewhere in that house. Maybe I'll go over there this afternoon and dig around. Ask Yaya where my old clothes are. Darius, how good is do you dick around in Barkley? Or do you stay strictly on K Lake? Probably where your baby blanket and shoes are. No, the baby blanket the bean has. The bean sleeps with like 14 blankets. She's got her blanket, and then she'll say, "We tried to put her in uh, with just like one blanket, and we'd lay her down and put her blanket on her, and she'd go, 'No, I want mama blanket.' So we'd have to go get mama's baby blanket, and then we'd put it on her and be like, 'All right, that feel good?' She said, 'No, I need dad blanket.' So we had to go get. She said, 'We dad baby blanket.' So we go get dad's baby blanket and put that on her. And then she said, 'Oh, I want brown blanket.' And we get brown blanket. So you lay her down, and she's got like a damn stack of blankets. And then she kicks them all off and sleeps without a blanket all night. St. Chris, what's up, dude? Thanks, man. We just get on here and shoot the shit. While I sand my fingers off. Brian, what's up, dude? We're just sanding people's paint jobs down. Now this one doesn't have much of a paint job. This looks very not. I've seen. I don't know what this is. It looks like it was just rattle canned with. Rattle canned with no clear coat. Kyle currently ice fishing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kyle. Yeah, I think this is pretty much just a rattle can paint job. No clear coat. Dustin and I did. I sold those Friday. And I took the bean to my mom's house and my dad's house this morning. And I said, I got to go. I got to go to the post office. I had no clue what day it was. And then I realized that those people don't work on Sunday. A bunch of losers. Freaking day off. I should at least have some poor soul there working on Sunday. To take my mail. Oh, I had a first. So I've been seeing pictures. Baxter posted one. Another couple guys posted one of his baits that got crushed in the mail. And I was reading through the comments of his post, and this guy was like, "You're a fool, whoever sent these to you in a bubble mailer." And they're like, "That's like asking to get your baits ruined." And I was thinking to myself, I've probably sent thousands and thousands of baits out in bubble mailers. Nothing ever happened to them. I said, but knock on wood, it stays that way. Dude, last night, I'm getting ready to leave here. And I get this message from this lady on Facebook. And I said, oh boy, this isn't good. Because I could see the preview of the message on my home screen, and it said, hey, I ordered a bait from you. And I was like, oh boy. So I opened it up, and she had 3 pictures. And it looked like the bait had been run over by a Caterpillar bulldozer. It was bad. Rattle was in the package. Let's see if I can show you. That's what the packaging looked like. It's the front of the bait. It actually looked pretty decent. But as you can see, that backside is totally crushed. That's the ballast by the hook hanger. The other thing that was interesting about that was that what is this, plus 13? The hooks held up real good. Like the hooks weren't crushed. Is this? Southern Fried Chicks Boutique. Yeah, hell, I ran out of black ones, so I had to pull out the Mike Iaconelli panic box of random hooks, and I had about 10 red hooks that I used. Daniel, I didn't know you wanted the red hook one. I could have certainly sent you the red hook one. Do I have a release date for the Balsa 1 minus that was on your shorts? Did I post a Balsa 1 minus? I have Balsa 1 minuses, but I don't think Burnsy's making those for me. I thought those were for Eric. It might not have been a 1 minus that I was holding up. It might have been something else. Oh, it might be old one. Maybe. But I don't know that I've painted any of Burnsy's 1 minuses. That's what the postmaster said about my broken rod tube. She told me that's not how they are supposed to be packaged. Broke 2 Dobbins rods. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how they can tell you how to not package something. I don't think it's our fault that I put something protected inside of a bubble mailer. How about don't run over it with the fucking truck? Maybe that would have been a better answer. Because it wouldn't matter if the box was made, like the box would have to be made of steel to protect the bait I just showed you. Oh, it was me test swimming one. That's on my YouTube. And that, I don't know how, Hella Mike can answer this. Hella, I had a really short video on my YouTube from like 10 years ago when I was testing a balsa bait. And that was one me and my dad built. And somehow YouTube just did as they saw fit and turned my little 10-second clip into a short and like posted it. Like I didn't do anything to it, but I guess they converted it to a short on their own. I don't know. But there's a video on this on my channel that says like balsa test or something. And yeah, that was really, really long time ago. Um, so the mail service has gotten bad. They are bringing the mail at 9 at night. Can't get anybody to work anymore. When I'm working at the post office is very. That's what I was thinking, Darius. I always thought like working for the post office was a badass job to have. Um, any video that is square or vertical in less than 60 seconds is considered a short. Interesting. I didn't, but I saw it like I think I was on, I think I was on like the browser version, not signed into my account, and it came up as a short. I was like, I didn't make this a short, nor did I publish this, but they thought YouTube thought it would be a good idea to do that for me. What do y'all do to piss off the delivery people? I don't know what the deal is with the post office. They're really dicks. But like I said, I've never had an issue up until yesterday. Everything's always been pretty good. I did have a lady try to deny me sending something. So they have like the biggest a box can be is like 70 inches or something, or 69, and it can only weigh like 50 pounds or something, like 49 pounds or something like that. I forget what all the limitations are to what you can ship, but USPS has a limit. And my brother-in-law ordered some shit, and we needed to ship it to him in the Virgin Islands. And literally, the box met all the requirements. It was like just a smidge under all of them, like weight, total inches, all this kind of shit. And so I took it up there and I said I'd already printed the label and done all that shit, and I said I need to drop this box off. I was like, it's real heavy and it's real big, so if you want me to take it back to wherever you want me to take it back to, I'll walk it back there for you. And the lady was like, yeah, thank you, that would help. And then this other lady comes over and she's like, that's too big. I'm like, no, it's not. And she was like, how big is it? And I told her. And she was like, I don't think so. Get your fucking measuring tape and measure it. But I'm telling you, it's working. Like it's the right size. And she got her little measuring ruler out and started pulling lines on it. And she looked at me like pissed off. She gave me this like dirty look. And I was like, I didn't do anything but mail something within your parameters of mailing. So don't look at me like I'm the dick. And yeah, she was all pissy that she had to send a package that met all their requirements to ship, although they were maxed out. And the thing about it, what I asked her, I was like, why are you giving me shit about this? You don't have to carry this on your back, like, to the next hub. Like, somebody's going to throw it in a truck and it's going to be gone. Like, why do you care? I guess that's a good way to get your Christmas tree cake stomped when they see you bring mail in. They're like, oh, this is that dickhead. Want to give me the lip. People are weird. But I was the bad guy for some reason. Yeah, Brian. That's the key. You got to find like the right store that like has good employees that are you know friendly, normal people that don't mind actually doing a little work. In which the girl didn't have to do any work. She didn't have to do shit. I literally walked it all the way through the post office to the back door where they do pickups. Like the person who was if the person who was loading the truck was going to have to take it probably 10 feet. That's all. Like I did all the lifting. I printed the label. They literally did not have to touch it. But like I said, I was the prick that brought in the big box. Speaking of Christmas cakes, I had a Little Debbie zebra cake roll. A Little Debbie zebra cake roll. Okay, and they have Little Debbie zebra iced mini donuts now. Ooh, that sounds nice. Does Little Debbie advertise? I don't ever see them advertise. I guess they don't have to. People do it for them. This dude's resin is very yellow. You can't see it. It's a very beautiful bone color. I don't know who this gentleman is or what type of resin this is, but it is a very creamy white bone color. Nice looking. He sands the shit out of his baits too. They got big sand marks in them, which I'm not complaining about. I much rather have been big sand marks than. But this looks like he sanded it with like 80 grit. Like they're like deep gouges. I'm sanding with 220, and it's not even like phasing it. Uh, Brian likes the zebra cakes. I like the. If I had to take one, if you said you can only eat one Little Debbie the rest of your life, I would probably choose the donut stick. Believe it or not, those little donut sticks are delicious. Or a honey bun. It'd be a toss. It'd be a hard toss up. The honey buns are a little more moist. The donut sticks are kind of they can be dry, but the honey buns are typically not too. Uh, they're usually pretty succulent. Yeah, I don't think this guy. I don't think whoever this gentleman is. He's got one grit. It looks like he got drug on the concrete. I don't know if you can. Oh, now you can see it. Yeah, you can see those gouges. And that's not from me. I'm trying to get them out. Clean this thing up a little bit. Zebra cake out of the freezer. Just chilled or frozen? Do tell. Shoo! Bless me. Nutty bar, Darius, you're right. I forgot about the nutty bar. Nutty bar is pretty damn delicious. Donut stick with hot chocolate. There you go. Number 2 prison currency is a honey bun. What's number 1? Ramen. It stays soft. I have to try that. Have you tried it with a Christmas tree? It makes the filling like an ice cream texture. Dude, how's nobody ever turned me on to this? Y'all been holding out. All these fishing tips, and y'all didn't want to trade me a damn Little Debbie tip until now. Number 1 is a pre-stamped envelope called a write-out. How about that? Just above a honey bun. Does Little Debbie supply the honey buns, or is it a different brand? Well, should have had you here sooner, Brian. I felt like I've had the wool pulled over my eyes all this time, because this isn't the first time we've talked about Debbie cakes. I got all this resin in my nose now. I'm hoping I can maybe paint all this tomorrow. That might be pushing it. This will be a lot. That's 7 swim baits, 3 lipless baits, and 3 jerk baits. I might can get that done. We'll see. Depends on how cold it is. Mainly Little Debbie, but brands change from vendor to vendor. They get Mr. Freshy's iced honey buns too. Ooh, that sounds nice. If you leave them too long, it's not good. They get too hard. So maybe like 2 hours would be the optimal. I don't think they would get frozen in 2 hours. Maybe an hour and a half would be enough for them to solidify. I've seen YouTube shorts of a prison inmate grilling in jail. I threw that away. I forgot to go by the dance studio and get Bean's watered bottle. Dustin, Rich talks a lot about you. Finally got on here. I bought a hat and a shirt a few weeks ago. Yeah. Appreciate that, Brian. Have you worn your shirt yet? Had any compliments or comments? In Illinois, they don't get phones unless someone smuggles them one. They have tablets for email and pay movie services and music, no access to anything else. Interesting. Very interesting. I need my little skewers.
I'm about to start running some giveaways. And they're not going to be fancy. I'm just going to give away shit because I have too much. And I don't want to order stuff. So I bought these baits. It's like it's a knockoff of a Duo Realis, like little lipless. So I foiled this one. I don't know if you can see it. I foiled this one. Whoops. Or chromed it. But I did it like a striped clown thing. And I went and tested it, and I couldn't get it to run because I put like number 4 hooks on it or something, and it wouldn't swim. So I looked up on the website what hook Duo recommends on this, and they recommended a number 8. I was like, that's way too small. But I have a bunch. I don't have a bunch, but I have a little mini collection here of colors I've painted. And rather than me have to order size 8 hooks that I probably won't use, I need to just send these to somebody that would like to throw a number 8 treble hook, or that owns number 8 treble hooks. Because I feel like if I throw these on my tackle, I'll bend out a number 8 on a 1.5-pounder. But love the Ned shirt, fits good, and the trucker hat fits. Wonderful. Wonderful. But I've just got I got so many I've got so much like just random stuff. I was looking on the wall over there yesterday, like all of just random baits that I've painted. But like I don't need these. I mean I do just because I'm a hoarder and I think I do, and I'm like, oh, you'll throw that. But in actuality, I'd rather give it to somebody that would actually fish it. Like this thing. Do I really need all these? Yes. But should I maybe share the wealth? You can't see it. This has got a holographic foil on it. This was the color. I'm waiting to get on a bite with this color. This looks like it's going to be the juice down here, but I haven't caught anything on it yet. Only threw it once. All right, let me get some of these. Let me get some of these skewers out. I have a visitor from Harold, Kentucky. Just so you guys know, when you're snooping around on my website, I see you. I get a notification every time somebody pops on. It's pretty annoying. I should probably turn it off, but I think it's it kind of helps me keep track of who's doing what. because you see some interesting traffic, like when you start seeing some weird European countries, or you've got a visitor from Russia, and then you find out, oh, well, this company is based out of Russia, and then you see your color pop up on their bait. It's like, oh, I remember when they got on my website. Or a Chinese manufacturer from Weihai, China, where all the fishing lure manufacturers are. When you see them get on your website, it's not good. I remember I was talking to this bait manufacturer in China, and they were in a very specific part of China, and we'd sent a few emails back and forth. Like that night at like midnight, I had a visitor from the from their little district or whatever. So they were doing their homework to see if I was who I said I was, I guess. My ISP is based out of Herald. There you go. Dustin, I got more balsa coming down the line. We did a really cool one from the early days of Bernsey and I's relationship, and I'm going to do a throwback color. I'm going to try and recreate the color that I first painted the baits in, that I caught them real good on. But I'm going to try and do them in an updated version. So I'm going to take a 10-year-old paint job and bring it. I'm going to try and refine it a little bit. Hopefully not too much to where it doesn't look the same, but we'll see. We'll see what they turn out like. But it's an older design. All right, got this guy's Mega Bees. That would be a great name for a crankbait. Why did Bagley ever never do that? They had the Balsa Bee. Did they never make a Mega Bee? It is a badass design, Burns. You did well. Brennan, what's up, dude? John, I didn't do much to him, but a red Scotch-Brite pad. Nothing too special. That's about your only choice on plastic baits, unless they're slick-sided. There's a Scotch-Brite. Because of all the details on them, if you use anything harder than that, like if you use just a flat piece of sandpaper, you're just going to like cut everything. And you're going to start cutting down scales you don't want cut down. You're going to start cutting down edges off the gill plates. But if you use a Scotch-Brite, it usually gets down in all the little nooks and crannies and all that kind of shit that you would need to be getting down in that you can't get in with regular sandpaper. So that's what I've always done. And I was curious about it a couple years back. I was like, is there a better way to do this? So there's this guy I follow on YouTube that paints cars. And I sent him a message and I was like, hey, Here's what I'm doing. How would you prep this? Like red Scotch-Brite. Like, all right, that's what I'm already doing. But I was just curious if there was some other hidden car product that I didn't know about that I should be using. It's like, nah, not much you can do for it. It's like I just go red Scotch-Brite. All right, I'll continue the way I was. Gosh, these are real weird. Maybe I should do it under the bottom. I don't typically like doing this, but maybe this is what I have to do on these. Putting them like this, you run into sometimes you get a little halo up under here where it's hard to get the paint in there, but I think I can maneuver it, hopefully. Let's see. Clean this thing off. Redo this one. Daniel, I'm glad you finally shook that shit, dude. That was sounded like you had a one of the bad batches. The grit, I think red is a finer grit. What's the difference between red and green? Yeah, green is a little coarser, and then gray is really coarse, I think. I think they call red fine, but it's not. It's not that fine. It's pretty good. I would prefer it to be just like a smidgen more coarse, but it's good enough. It's good enough that it scuffs and it doesn't cut. It will cut decently, but it doesn't you're not gonna knock the damn scales off of something too easy with it. You have to really try. There for a while, felt like it was the end. So much fluid in my lungs, almost. Was it? Brennan, when's the $1,000 bait giveaway you're doing? Ready for paint. Potato bait in your lifetime. Damn, I still got all Eric space to prep. Gross. Burnsy, how many baits is that? Like 40? It's gonna be painful. I'm going to get out all my Scotch-Brite pads out. Where are they? I have a literal boneyard of frogs over here this Wednesday. There you go. Y'all remember the sumo frog before everything was I guess this was the precursor to the bronzai. This was the juice frog before the bronzai came out. Bo's sumo frog. I bet Dean Rojas had a few of these in his box. before the Bronzai came out. What is this one? Jackal Frog Iobi. Started as COVID, turned into pneumonia. Working on 30 more. You got some oldies but goodies in here. Here's a 5-strand skirted transporter with no arms. Y'all ever throw this thing? It's an oddity. It's probably worth a little bit of coin these days. I don't know. Looks like I painted it. You're on Gunnersville. That's all you need. Old smoke. Oh, there's another one. I didn't know I had two. Yeah, South Jersey, I think you're getting your wish. I think you will be getting an Epic Shad at some point. So my phone went from fully charged at 7 o'clock this morning to 1% battery by noon. My battery's probably dead. Like, it's probably dicked up, right? Oh, South Jersey. Lesson learned, bro. Always buying twos. You said I need to throw more of square bill baits to the trash can, my RSCs and WCs. Yes, on the Epic Shads. He had to get his big blocks of bosses out for that. I've got some big balsa. I've never shown it because I don't want to, because there's something specific about my baits that have been seemingly missed by everybody that's tried to come out with a Magnum square bill. And they've all done it wrong. I haven't thrown a Magnum square bill yet that I thought was a good bait. If anybody has thrown a Magnum square bill, throw me what, in your opinion, is the best, because I'd like to try it. I haven't seen one yet that I was a fan of. Six Sense Magnum, don't even try with that one. That one's trash. Academy H2O Magnum, it sucks. Megabass Grenade, no. Lucky Craft SKT Magnum, no. Marty, I don't want you to. I don't want that one out there. Daniel, I do need a new phone. I do need a new phone. Brennan, is that the one that's got the is the lip built into the body like the other ones? OSP Blitz Magnum. Haven't tried it. I'd be interested. I haven't tried the. I've got the Rick Clunn one. Haven't tried this one yet. Ichikawa. What did I say about this? Yeah, it dives too deep. That's the first problem. Like, I'll just throw a Norman DD14. Cal Downey, I'm super impressed with your walking baits. They hold up to bass and reds and bull reds. Well, that should say something. That should say something. Kyle's trying to test the limits on a Burns bait, and he can't even get a bull red to dick it up. So, hats off to Mr. Burns. No matter how much I try and tell y'all how durable they are, Downey's out there putting them to the redfish test, and they're passing. So, there you go. One of the roots TK did has seen way better days. What body size is the big square bill? Is a big square bill to me? I think the one I built was like just shy of 5 inches, but it was tall. It wasn't tall, but it was pretty tall bait. If I had a ruler here, I could probably. I don't want to show it. There's a measuring tape. Let's see. It's probably 3 inches tall by about 5 inches. Brennan, the first thing I look for in a Magnum square bill is that it fishes like a square bill. That's it. But I am interested to throw this thing to see what Rick Clunn stamped his name on. Is he still working with this company? Does he have new baits coming out with Ichikawa? High performance hooks. Let's see what these hooks are. Yeah, those are sharp. Not crazy sharp though. I mean, they're sharp, but they're not like as sharp as I thought they would be. How big is this bait? This one's 3.5 by 1.5. Pretty big. I guess that's Magnum-ish. Not really, though. Not huge. I don't use the 4.0 Evoke too deep for me, but I've heard good things that I mainly use the 1.2. The A10 is the one I'm testing with the lip built into the body. There you go. The Megabass Big M is pretty chunky. That's the one I saw on Blockett's page. He had a tackle box with Big M written on the top of it, and I sent it to Burns, and I was like, "Has Blockett got a whole box full of your baits?" And he's like, "No, I think it's a Megabass bait." I was like, "Oh." I was hoping they were Burnsies since we were both from living in Arkansas or Missouri. He lives in Missouri, I think. The Ichikawa hooks and the Evergreen Treble Magic hooks have almost the same shape. Yeah, they're probably from BKK because they have a similar hook they make. They're probably producing those hooks for them, if I had to bet. But anywho, all right, gentlemen, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go. I guess I'm gonna have to go get Amy and take her to get her car. We had to drop her car off this morning so she could get the oil changed and her tires rotated. Kyle, I want to see a picture of your destroyed root. Or any of your Bernsey baits that you've thrown and put through the ringer. I'd like to see it. I love seeing them abused. But y'all be good. Thanks for tuning in and spending a little bit of your Sunday afternoon with me. It was fun. We'll do it again. Y'all be good. Actually, we might do a long one Monday evening. Might do it when I get home because Amy's going to be gone. I'll be home alone. But anyway, y'all be good. See y'all.